and I too would like to welcome Minister Costello back to the House. Senator O'Keefe there referred to the government being arrogant and disconnected. I must say that was my reaction when I read. Pardon? Sorry, I beg your pardon.
More than through the chair, Senator.
I beg your pardon.
The other nation.
No. I beg your pardon. I must say that disconnected was how I felt when I read the Fianna Fáil motion the first time. I'd just like to address some of the education issues on it. Firstly, in relation to the student registration fees at third level, it's worth noting that under the Fianna Fáil administration, the student registration fee has increased by 950% between 1996 and 2011. The era of free fees under the last government ended under the last government many years ago. In contrast, and regrettably, the increase made in the last budget by the government amounted to 12%. Now, it goes without saying that the last thing the government wanted to do was to introduce change or take from education. And I must say, myself, as a parent of 3 children in university next year, it certainly will feel the pinch. Everybody did, but quite rightly, I think the government has concentrated on the top priority, which had to be to protect the pupil-teacher ratio, resource teachers, and the SNA allocations. The motion proposed here this evening by Fianna Fáil calls on the government to protect frontline services and education, in particular to the most disadvantaged. And may I remind the senators that the DEIS scheme was fully protected by Labour under the recent budget. Yes, it was. Oh, well. If you look, the 13 million enhanced capitation, we've got 2 million school book funding for DEIS schools, and 26 million investment in the homeschool community liaison will be continued for 2012. The 5 existing scholarship schemes for higher education are being replaced with a single bursary style merit-based scheme with awards set at $2,000 per student. The bursary will be an additional support to incentivise and reward high achievement for students from DEIS schools. On all DEIS second level schools will be given targeted support by a more favourable staffing ratio of 18.25 to 1. This is in fact a 0.75% point reduction compared to the 19 to 1 ratio that's in non-fee paying schools at present. I can't finish without referring briefly to the small schools and the constant bombardment that we seem to feel from the opposition about small schools. And can I just say, senators, no, let's talk about these. When Fianna Fáil were in government with the PDs in 1992, Fianna Fáil published a green paper which sought to close all schools with fewer than 4 teachers. Okay, and that seems to be forgotten. Now,
did we do it?
But what you raised. It's like, as we said today, it's as if you weren't in government or that you're not facing up to your responsibility of when you were. It's much the same. As I said, can't sit here and take the lecture from Sinn Féin either. In a classic example, that party of trying to have it both ways. They oppose the changes to the small schools south of the border, while north of the border they're seeking to close down the small schools. So I mean, you've got to stand up and admit, and as we said, let's be honest about it, and let's be honest and give credit where credit is due for what the government has achieved in our first year. Thank you.